right, at this time, I will call to order the regularly scheduled board meeting for the Village of Midlothian, Wednesday, December 28th, 2022, at 7 p.m. Roll call, please, Deputy Clerk Kolek.
Trustee Barrett?
Here.
Trustee Caveney?
Here.
Trustee Crowley?
Here.
Trustee Hilly? Trustee Johnson?
Here.
Trustee Kilby?
Here.
Mayor LaRue?
Here.
You have quorum.
Thank you, ma'am. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance and remain standing for a moment of silence for our fallen veterans. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Before we get going, I believe my granddaughter Nova Rose is watching tonight, so can everyone say hi, Nova?
Hi, Nova.
I hope she's watching. Hope it's working. Hi, Nova. I'll be home soon. All right. Is there any public comment tonight? Fred?
Okay, thank you. I brought up some comments here last week. I found an old ordinance, which is probably antiquated by this time. But it states down here, on the planning board, people digging up their front lawn, making reservation for their own personal cars. It says here, illegally removing sod or earth, illegally removing sod along public highway.
Right.
My question to that would be, how would that be handled? If somebody's already put asphalt down and parking their car in front,
If we can determine that was done recently, we will have them remove it. If you're talking about someone that has had it for 15, 20, 30 years, we're not gonna go and tell people to remove it.
right, I understand that.
Yeah.
Like, this emergency vehicle, wrecking trucks or whatever, the guy's dug it up and, of course, he's on call 24 hours, whatever that may be. And there's also, it says, I complained a while back here about loudspeakers and amplification. There's also an ordinance of that. It says no permit. Permits are not issued for, like, mariachi bands that you can hear 2 or 3 blocks away. Okay?
We have a new noise ordinance that the
I know,
village passed.
excuse me, we were gonna review that, I believe,
Yeah.
with the chief and all that.
Yeah.
So I don't know if any progress has been made on that.
Yeah, residents are not required to have a permit. There's a decimal on which we now go by a decimal, so it's measurable. So residents now, if there's a complaint, officers can measure I think it's frequency is the correct word, and it's consistent across the board to see where that level is when they're asked to turn it down. And if usually I think the police department asks residents to turn it down, and then if they fail to, if they have to go back, they would issue a citation.
Okay, and, the other thing is, I gave you some addresses, and we won't go through all that scenario, but people are running businesses out of their homes. Trucking business, for one thing, and I mentioned that several times. These box trucks, I mean, if you go to the area where I'm at, and you go down the street there, you don't know you're running a business there, they're not running a business, they park any place they want. There's a trailer sitting there now for over a month. I don't know, and it's not a little camping trailer, it's one of them house trailers, like about 21 foot long. If anybody's gonna move that or any
I think,
motion on that.
I think DC, did the police department address those? Were those the ones they addressed already?
Yeah, that was the list that you gave me last week, Fred.
Right.
Which address had the house trailer, do you remember? I wrote down all the addresses, and between myself and somebody else went over and checked all of these. One of the places that already did handle the citations, and then a couple of the addresses and the descriptions that you gave me last week, there weren't any violations observed when we went to them.
Okay, I won't question that now, because I was told to kind of leave the addresses alone, and I'll give them to you on the side of the
Yeah,
road.
give me a call tomorrow, we can sort it all out, have a whole list.
The other is a trailer, it's sitting right there at 146th and Millard, sitting
Yeah,
right in the corner.
they've been cited for
They've
it.
been cited for that?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I just wanted to see if there's any movement on anything going on. Seems like I spin my wheels, or I'm just an old man, cranky old man, and I'm really not there any way you can find out how much we're supposed to be paying for our own water, I think, as usage? How does that work? I mean, per gallon? Does anybody have an idea of what's gonna be charged, or is that a fluctuating thing?
No, it's a set price. I believe we're at $9 per 1,000 gallons of usage.
Okay, all right, I didn't understand that last week or 4 weeks ago.
What we did last week or week before was we removed the minimum use charge. So anyone that was using less than 2,000 gallons a month or 6,000 for the quarter, you still had to pay for 6,000 gallons. We removed that. So if you're under 6,000 for the quarter, you're only paying for what you use.
Okay, thank you.
Also, you might want to reference for the seniors, they don't have to register every year.
Correct. Deputy Clerk Kalaki did not send out the renewal form, so, so seniors, you don't have to re-up this year. We've gotten rid of the, minimum usage charge for the whole village.
Mayor, I feel like we can put something on the homepage for the website to remind seniors that they do not have to re-register as a nice reminder going into.
I also have it on the, it's also part of the January,
Constant contact.
yeah.
Nice. All right, anything else tonight, Fred?
No, I wish everybody a happy and prosperous new year,
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year,
Happy
Fred.
New Year, Fred.
even though it kind of harassed you all, but, I
Eh,
guess.
we'd miss you if you weren't here.
Pardon me?
We'd miss you if you weren't here.
Thank you. I'll try to be here.
Anyone else? Nothing? Okay, then I'll close the floor to public comment. Move on to tonight's consent agenda. Number 1, approval of the write-in quote for vehicle stickers, pet tags, and motorcycle stickers for 2023 for a total amount of $4,675. Number 2, approval of the November 2022 Administration Department monthly report. Number 3, approval of the November 2022 Building Department monthly report. Number 4, approval of the November 2022 Fire Department monthly report. Number 5, approval of the November 2022 Police Department monthly report. Number 6, approval of the November 2022 Public Works Department monthly report. And number 7, approval of the list of bills. Is there any item any trustee would like off of tonight's consent agenda? Hearing no dissension, I'm looking for a motion to approve tonight's consent agenda as read.
I'll make the motion.
Second?
All in, roll call, please.
Trustee Caveny?
Aye.
Trustee Crowley?
Aye.
Trustee Burbette?
Aye.
Trustee Johnson?
Aye.
Trustee Killy?
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you, ma'am. Moving on to trustee business, trustee Johnson.
Thank you, Mayor. With the approval of the quote for the stickers and the tags, we will be sending we're about to send a letter, a certified letter and a fax to the company, Third Millennium, to let them know that we will no longer use them. We're also going to present to the board in probably 2 weeks our plan to bring the village stickers and the tags back in-house so that we'll issue them from the premises here and not do it through Third Millennium. And that is all I have for you today.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Trustee Burback.
Thank you, Mayor. The only thing I have is we've finally received a quote for replacing the switches in the network closet. And it's something we want to act on very fast, so we're going to ask that we vote on that next week. It's $1,875 to prove it. Yeah, $1,875.
Anyone have any issues with that? It sounds like a really, really good price.
It is a very good price. That's one of the reasons we want to act really fast.
What was it, 18?
$1,875.
And can you remind us what the switches will do?
They replace the switches we already have. These switches give way more management capability, so you can see all the devices connected in the network by name, and it gives way more control so they can be more reactive to any problems.
Great.
Would you like that under your business for approval?
Sure.
Okay.
Switches?
Yeah.
Ethernet switches?
We'll forward you the quote.
I'm sorry?
Network switches.
Network
Okay,
switches,
thank
okay.
I'll forward it to you now.
Thank you, sir. Anything else today?
No, sir.
Thank you, sir. Trustee Gavey?
Thank you, Mayor. The only thing I have is, I received an email from MWRD engineer Rich Fisher yesterday. We traded emails with regards to this property buyout, and apparently I misunderstood. I thought the application had to include the two appraisals. It does not. The village needs to send in its application. Once MWRD approves of our project, the village has to enter into an IGA, and then we have to submit documentation with regards to the two appraisers we chose. We have to send their resume and their qualifications, and MWRD will approve them to do the appraisals. So I forwarded the email that I received from Rich. I believe I forwarded it to you and to Superintendent Sperry, so that you guys could take a look at it and be very familiar with what the village's responsibility is going to be going forward on this property. Part of the application process is, I believe we have to submit some sort of plan of what we're going to do with the property. We have to submit some type of estimate of expenses, and I have no idea how much it costs to raise a building, and I wouldn't even begin to know where to find that information. So I'll need Superintendent Sperry to help me out with this one.
I think Superintendent Witt could probably have some, with his background and experience, he might have some ideas on what it costs to take down a house
Mhm.
or building.
Do we have any idea if the Cook County Sheriff's Office still has their demo program working? How do we find out?
I don't think they do, but
No?
Yeah, but didn't we have concerns with that before because they didn't remove all the debris, they just backfilled it into the property? Wasn't that part of the problem with that?
Right, but I mean, if we have them knock it down, then the village can move forward and the village can have all that debris removed. But if this building will have, this property will have deed restrictions, so it cannot be built on again, leaving the concrete footings in the ground, I don't think would be a bad thing, right? Because it would be considered clean fill, because if you take it out, then you have to backfill it with clay and something else to keep everything in place. So my thought was, we'd knock the building down, but potentially maintain some of the asphalt parking lot for parking, but I don't even know if we're gonna be able to do that. We might have to
I
tear
think
out
the
the
whole
parking lot.
property has to be green.
Yeah, so we have to tear the parking lot and everything out. So we have to kind of come up with some sort of plan of what we're gonna do with it. Are we gonna just make it, flat grass? Are we gonna make, dig it out, make it into a little bit of a bowl, like a depression for, like a swale
I think
for
for
stormwater? I don't know, so we
my
have to.
opinion, permanent maintenance on your part would be easier for flat ground.
Yeah.
I mean, definitely.
We could put a little bit of I'm thinking a little bit of a swale may not be a bad idea, but,
And just the proximity to the creek, I don't know if it's something we'll have to check in with the engineers.
right.
But you definitely want to get rid of all the impervious asphalt and everything.
Mm-hmm,
It's just more area for the water to go into the grass.
mm-hmm. Yeah, but I'm just thinking find out if we could put some kind of lip around the edges of it to keep the water there and not let it spill out into the street
I'm sure.
and roll across the street to the IDOT.
I'm sure Engineer Huss can work on a plan for,
So
A green
I believe
space.
the application requires that we give them some sort of idea of what our plan is, so. Anyhow, I watched,
Yeah, the only thing Trustee gave you that I heard is as far as any sort of lip on the stream bank would be allowed, but.
well, not on the stream bank, I'm talking about on the edge of the property. Because the village would be acquiring this whole entire lot, and we would have to tear everything out and backfill it with dirt and grass. So that's why I was thinking that if we put in some kind of swale, that would kind of help hold, it would kind of help hold some of the water if the creek did overflow again.
Yeah, nominal amount. but-
Yeah. Just trying to come up with any idea to keep the water from rolling across the street, or rolling into the street and across the street. So,
okay.
so I'll share that email with you also, Engineer Huss. But this has to be turned in by Friday,
13?
the 13th or 12th, whatever that Friday is, the second Friday in January. That's all I have.
Thank you, ma'am. Trustee Kilby.
Nothing tonight, Mayor.
Thank you, sir. Trustee Crowley.
Deputy Chief, were you gonna talk about the Sergeant Tebow's post with the club, or did you want me to?
You have the information.
Okay. The only thing I have tonight, sir, is I'd like to thank Lieutenant Tebow and the Midlothian Police Department. There was a post put out on social media today. We will also be following it up in our monthly newsletter that Midlothian Police Department reached out to Hyundai and Kia with the recent thefts to autos that have been happening. And so far, we have received, I think, 60 security clubs to put in the Hyundais to give out to our residents. That's from Hyundai, so all the information is on Facebook. We'll also have it put on the website on the models. You have to be a Midlothian resident. You can come to Village Hall, first come, first serve. It's the Hyundais with a key, not with the fob. And I believe it's models between 2009 and 2021. So again, if it has a key, there have been high reports of theft for those vehicles. You can come to Midlothian Police Department and bring your Midlothian your driver's license with Midlothian address and a copy of like your vehicle sticker or whatever, the receipt to show what kind of car you have, and you'll get a free club while supplies last. Now they are also waiting. They've reached out to Kia because there are a number of models with Kia cars that are having the same problem. We're hoping that Kia will follow suit and the police department will continue to update people. That is all I have to say, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. And thank you, Lieutenant Tebow. All right, move on to department heads. Deputy Chief?
Yeah, I'll take a minute to speak this time.
Nice.
I just wanted, it's the last meeting of the year, and I just wanted to take the opportunity to offer my sincere gratitude to the mayor, the board, especially Trustee Crowley, the rest of the village, admin and staff, and the department heads, and of course, the community for their continued contributions to the Midlothian Police Department and for all of the support that everybody has given us throughout the year. Thank you.
Thank you.
And thank you, DC.
That was very nice of you. Didn't know you had it in you. Thank you, sir. Superintendent Sperry.
And for the bad news, as the mayor is aware, the Historical Society is in need of another rooftop unit. Temperature was at 57 degrees yesterday when the volunteers came in yesterday. So we had our HVAC guy go up. It's got two different issues, and it's going to cost just as much to repair as to replace. Bad news is that this is a bigger unit than the first one we replaced, so the cost is going to be $11,832. It's $800 for a crane to lift it up because our HVAC guy can only lift so much. The last one was a 3-ton unit. He was able to get that up there. I was informed by Clerk Moskal that he had spoken with Attorney Valadez that we could kind of rush this through and get approval at a later date because it's detrimental to the building to get heat up. So they've already ordered the unit, so hopefully we can get it installed next week sometime. If it comes right, it comes in. So that'll be on next week's agenda.
It would be considered an emergency action by the village that can be ratified when the board gives proper notice to the public that it intends on doing it.
And just, I also spoke to Clerk Moskal today. He did find the minutes from the meetings, I believe it was from 2021, that the board did approve for both units being replaced.
Yeah, we both were kind of thought that they were both replaced. I know there was one at the police department that was replaced around the same time.
Okay.
I don't know if we did that instead of that. I don't remember exactly how it went down. But he did go up and verify that it's an old unit. He told me, I'll bring you up there if you want. And I know Dave is honest. So.
All right, so, you can just put that under my business.
Under your business? Okay.
I think I got
I'll
it.
get you the proper paperwork and everything
Okay.
tomorrow.
All right. Speaking of the Historical Society, were you done?
Yeah.
All right. Speaking of the
Happy
Historical
New
Society,
Year.
I encourage everyone to go back there when it gets back running in January. The volunteers have done so much work up there. You're not gonna, if you've seen it before, you're not gonna believe it. Painting, organizing, setting up the glass cases, some of that you donated. It's just unbelievable what they're doing up there. My mother-in-law, Marcia Giggleman, my sister-in-laws, Amy and Sandy, and nieces and nephews, and geez, it's crazy what they're doing. So get up there come January. It's twice. She's gonna kill me. I think it's the second and fourth Saturday. She's gonna kill me when I get home. It's online. It's on Facebook. Just I encourage everyone to get up there and check it out. So, thank you, Engineer Huss.
I have no report this evening, Mayor.
Director Redmond.
Thank you, Mayor. At the last board meeting, the board approved the proposal for Common Gallagher. Thank you all for that. Just to give you a brief update, we did have a very productive, nearly 2-hour meeting today, our kickoff meeting, so we're very excited to move forward with that. I did get a chance to meet our dedicated team members that we've been working with directly. We do have flyers that we want to give out to the employees, introducing the company, introducing the services that they will provide for our employees. So they did request some documents. I told them that I will give them that information no later by the end of this week. They will review it, and we will have a second meeting next week, and then we're looking to go live with the program January 16th.
Great.
Thank you, Mayor.
Fantastic. Thank you. Yes. All right, Deputy Clerk Kolacki?
I have nothing.
Of course you don't. You gotta say something sometimes. Attorney Valdez.
Just to say to our residents that if 22 was a great year for you, we hope it continues, and if it was a bad year for you, we hope that 23 is a better one.
Thank you. Superintendent Sperry took my Historical Society rooftop thing, but I did want to bring attention to the fine artwork here in the back of the chamber. This is from Bremen High School, District 228, the art students. There's one from each school. I've looked at them several times. They're just beautiful paintings. We're going to try to make this a routine. These will stay here for a certain period of time and then get returned to the students, and then we'll get some new artwork. So if you get a chance, take a look. It's awesome. With that, have a very, very, very happy new year. And as you said, hopefully 2023 is going to be a great year. I'm looking forward to it. All right. I already asked you.
Yes, you asked me.
Then, seeing there's no further business come for the board, I'm looking for a motion to adjourn.
I'll make the motion.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Meeting adjourned. Thank you all. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.